Who else your other vision has? Let's start with somebody who has some. Oh, okay. Wow, you're all voting for this man. Okay, stand up. Give him a hand. Whoa.
I was told to.
You were told to.
No, because
but do you want to?
Yeah, I do. Because
okay,
it was
good.
so well received, I thought, man, this is a winning run.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Awesome.
I got to wear my glasses.
You got it.
Okay.
From the heart.
Passion, laughter, fun-filled dinners at the pool, in the garden, at the dams, intimacy everywhere. Become a full man, walks together, I will listen.
Wow. Come on, ladies, for God's sakes. You have no idea what that means yet, but you'll learn.
Yeah. I've got to understand here, but I don't know if I'm going to get that one. Be affectionate and attentive. And this one, make sure she has nothing to fear ever.
That's beautiful. That's awesome.
Make sure she's cared for and cosseted. Make enough business she can be cared for and be generous to our families. Start a fund to help the poor guys from an incident that we've just been through. Start a support group for the people I'm talking about. Take her breath away every day.
It looks like you're speaking to this woman here. Is that true? Well, you should stand up to receive what he's sharing with you, for God's sakes. Please continue.
Show her gratitude. Every day love her. Make sure she never wants for a drink, money, security, affection. Take her to Antarctica. The Platinum Program. Las Vegas for the business program. A new Merc in 18 months. And the house sorted in a few years. And that's about it.
Well, as long as you're up, why don't you share your vision for a relationship? See if they have any matching pieces here.
Strangely enough, mine is not as lengthy as my husband's, and I'm usually the one who has more words. So
that's okay.
I'm a bit astounded, actually.
About astounded?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's awesome. Astounded. How many think it would be beautiful to astound the person you're in life with here, ladies and gentlemen? Okay.
Look, we've been together 22 years, and I think we have an incredible marriage.
Yes.
So I think for us it's building.
Yes.
We certainly are facing an incredibly large life obstacle when we get home, and it's really odd that this course came right now, because I booked it 14 months ago, and things changed in the last week before we arrived quite radically, and I think this program has helped us shift the way we're going to approach that life-changing event when we get home, because it radically is going to change everything. And I think for Michael and I to go from a level 2 to a level 1 in our relationship will actually help us deal with the issue which has got nothing to do with our relationship, if that makes any sense.
By the way, how many think that would be true in your life as well? That if you had position 1, love and passion every day, whatever the fuck you had to face, you could face it with much more power and grace. Say I. Yeah. That's beautiful.
For sure. For sure. For sure. And I think there's many things that this last 3 days has helped us with, but I think I came hoping someone was going to, help us solve the issues, and I've realized, as I know that we're the only ones that can do that, but I think we have the tools that can help us navigate the next stage. And
maybe do it in a beautiful state in spite of the challenge.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. My husband seems to be a little bit further along the journey than I am, because he's feeling very inspired, and I am incredibly inspired, but the obstacles are still there, and the reality of it, I think I'm more practical than he is.
Yes.
And I think the practicality of it makes me more masculine, and I shift into that role very easily.
Yes.
And this issue needs Michael to be the man, actually.
Yes.
You know, so
what's happening? Does it look like the man is showing up?
It does, actually.
Yes. Yes.
It really does.
And so the one thing that would be really important for all of us is when you find your partner making even the smallest progress, you want to reward disproportionately. Because we are all training each other all the time how to be, whether we know it or not. I'll give you a quick example. My daughter, who at the time she was, I think, 14, she kind of sprouted into a woman very quickly, and I had to show her boyfriend, who was 26, when she was 14, how she got a 26-year-old boyfriend was beyond me, but I had to show him my gun collection and explain to him how things were working. And,
Michael relates.
Yes. And so I got his full attention, but what sincerely was really beautiful was I watched my daughter, he was a football player in college, actually he was 23, I'm sorry, not 27, and he was a football player, and he one night didn't come home at the time she'd hoped for, and she was scared, but the way she showed it was anger. And he didn't show up. He showed up, I think, 45 minutes later, an hour late. His practice had gone long for football, but he didn't call. He was in the midst of everything, didn't call. And quite honestly, he didn't call, but also I could see he didn't want to call because he didn't want to be upset. He figured wait till he got her in person. And when he finally got there, she unleashed on him. And I didn't want to interfere, so I left it alone. And then I watched 3 days later a very similar act again. And I pulled my daughter aside and I said, "You are training him to leave you." She said, "What?" I said, "He did what you wanted, and when he did what you wanted, you punished him. He came to be with you. But the fact he didn't do it the time you wanted, and because you felt fearful, instead of when he coming and saying, 'Oh my gosh, I missed you,' and assuming what he did was really important, you seemed to assume that he didn't give a shit about you. You've done it now twice in 3 days." I said, "There won't be 6 times, I guarantee you. And even if it is, if he just sticks around to try to please you, your relationship's already over." We train each other. And what you want to do is, if you have a child and you want to train the child to go to the bathroom and the toilet for the first time, and they miss it because they're brand new at it, what do? Just beat the shit out of that kid? No, what do? You reward them for doing things approximately right. You got some of the pee in and the others all over the wall, but that's good. You did some of it, right? That was awesome, right? Who knows what I'm talking about? If you didn't give reinforcement for approximately good behavior, or even slight progress that really wasn't there yet, you would never be going to the bathroom in a toilet, because you would have been punished continuously until you said and just did something else. That's what people do in relationships all the time. So I've watched multiple times when there's been these beautiful moments the couples have shared, and if you watched, I'm like motioning the guy, "Get your ass over there." It's not that he doesn't care, it's just he's not in the habit of going to her. He's not in the habit of reinforcing right then and there. And you are not in the habit of reinforcing him, it's very obvious either. Right? And he just stood up and opened his heart, put himself on the line, did something men don't do. He stood in front of 1,200 people from 33 countries and said everything he wants for his relationship with you. Right? And if you look at his face, he opened to you and everything else, but now he's still human, even though he's a man. Men are humans, ladies. And in that human part of himself, he still has the same fear you do, and everybody does, which is this going to be enough? Will she really feel my love? Will she really get it? And the fact when he came to you and it's like, well, everything is, there's nothing wrong with what you said, and you said a lot of very positive things too, I'm not being critical. But the whole pragmatic aspect kills any sense of romance or aliveness or polarity. Now, are you masculine in your core? Or did you become masculine to deal with all the issues of life?
I'm definitely feminine,
yes.
and I do know that.
Yes.
But
so the next step for you, if you're open to it, if you're willing to, it's to take that tension that's so geared in your body. And I don't know the incident, but I know it's a big incident by
Yeah.
watching both of you.
Yeah.
And I know it's not about your relationship, but it's obviously a huge incident. It's got to be dealt with. Nothing, as you said, would be more important than the two of you being closer and more in love and more passionate. You said it yourself, but the time to do that is now. What's our favorite word now, ladies and gentlemen? When in doubt, now. When you feel like you don't want to do something with your partner, it doesn't feel comfortable, now. You don't hesitate. If you'll train yourself to do that, the game will change. But for you, what's happened is, and I understand, I feel for you, I'm sure he also got stressed and went feminine, and so you stepped into your masculine, which you had before you met him.
And we've also had that practiced in the last couple of years. Michael's actually, he's had cancer and he came out of
Yes.
it, and then he
Yes.
had a very serious motorbike accident which took him out of action for
Yes.
more than a year. And during that time period, I picked up the business
Yes.
and it kind of became a habit, you know.
Thank you. Give her a hand for that. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I do recognize that, and I think Michael does too, but the habits are, you know, it's that pathway there that you...
Where is the girl in there?
No, she is in there.
Okay, show me where she is.
She's there, right? Yeah, she's here.
Where? Show me where she resides. Good location. So feel her for a moment. Actually, physically feel her. Close your eyes and feel her. Get out of your head. I understand why you are. I'm not being critical of you in any way. What you both shouldered is immense. And you love each other, and I know you're inseparable. But I don't want you to be inseparable at level 2, because that's not what you want. You both deserve more. You've been so devoted to each other. You've been such a pillar of strength for him through the cancer and through all that's been there. But he's now willing to take on. He's willing to take back what you had to take on. Am I correct or false about that?
100%.
100%. And I know it because it's not what he said. He just said it. You look in his eyes and the way he's looking at you, he wants you free again. And he's going to free you, and you're going to help. And the way you're going to help is you're going to stop hypnotizing yourself, Nikki. And the way you hypnotize yourself is with language. We all do it with words. When you recite the same things over and over again, you feel the same things over and over again. You've been reciting and then saying, I know better. But as long as you recite it, it hypnotizes you. And you believe it and you live it. You also would be afraid to let go of this now. You'd be afraid to let go of it because you're in a situation where you've had to deal with so much and there's still more to deal with. So part of you says this masculine's got to stay here. Part of you's afraid, will he go back? Will he go into his feminine? But a decision made from fear is only going to hurt you. And it'll hurt him, but he's a big boy. I think you're going to have to decide, are you willing to use the F word? Faith. Are you willing, in spite of all this, because so much is on the line, to breathe in your heart and to let the little girl come out and know that he will be there to catch her? I can tell you, I know people pretty fucking well. And I can tell you right now, this man will not drop you this time, not in a million years. And I don't say that if I have an ounce of concern. But what I say doesn't matter. You need to feel him. Because right now, the pain and the fear is making you look through the colored glasses of the past. And if we try to drive in the future using a rearview mirror, we crash. And most of us aren't experiencing our partner in life anymore. We're experiencing our memories of the past. And that will kill any relationship. Because any relationship that has time has had ups and downs, it's had pain, and we've all made giant mistakes. Who has made giant mistakes in the past? Say I. But the only way we get free is by stopping running the same recording, stopping the same movie, and being willing to write a new one together. And two people that love each other and are committed to each other and are hungry for passion can create it, because there's no relationship between problems and happiness. You can have huge problems and be very happy, especially when you're together and intimate. You can have no problems and turn little into giant problems. That's not a problem you have. So it's time to return if you're willing to. So I need to know if Nikki inside, I need to know if she'd be willing to take 30 days and let him take charge and have just a little bit of trust and keep opening even though it's scary. And only you know the truth. So ask your heart. if I stay tight like this, we can predict where things will go. If you open, even though it's scary, you might find out that you don't have to hold on so tight anymore because there's two big arms, a giant heart, a spirit and a soul across from you that worships and loves you. We can all feel it. Who feels it? Whole fucking room feels it. Open your eyes and look into those eyes and feel his presence. Do you?
I do. I promise you, I felt more of Michael in the last couple of days than I felt in a very long time, and it is overwhelming a little bit. And
Yes. Hard to trust a little bit.
Yeah, I do worry a little bit, and I just want to say the one thing. I do believe that he wants to take the lead, and I'm concerned that it won't happen.
I understand. And so what would happen if you were giving your all and then someone said, I want to believe, but I don't in you?
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
And I'm very quick to criticize, and I do understand that. And, and it's not meant as criticism. It's actually meant more as
It's a call.
an assistance to help him.
She's calling to him saying, please prove it to me. And the hard part is he just did all that he could for that, and she still doesn't believe it. And I can see why she doesn't believe it, because she's scared. She's just scared. And she has evidence to say it wouldn't work in the past, because they've been through so many things where you needed to be masculine. And do you want the past or do you want the future?
No, I want the future.
Then you have to be able to let go of this.
No, I know. It's harder than I thought, because
Yes, I understand.
it's in my head, and I've just got to get it into my heart.
Yes, so
And I
let's
do
do
get
that. Let's do that.
I do
What's the
get that.
fastest way to bring it into your heart?
To attach emotion to it.
Good. How are we
Yeah.
going to do that?
I've got to believe it. And I think
You know,
that's
it's
the
like
process.
people say, I'll believe it when I see it. But the
No.
truth is,
I'm a
you'll
scientist,
see it
by
when
the
you
way.
believe it.
So I do. I believe in the practical. I am. I'm science. That is
No, I
the
know,
way my
I know.
brain
I know you
thinks.
believe in the practical. And how well has that done for you so far?
It's done very well, actually. It has. It's done really well. Look where we are.
That didn't come from the practical.
No, it's done. I don't know. It's done well. It's done well. It's done very well. No, it has. I have a plan and my spreadsheet.
No. I understand George. I understand Charles. I understand Fred. I understand Corey. But I was hoping to speak to the feminine part of you for a moment, not the boy. Billy the kid is well developed here. There's no hope as long as you keep going back to the pragmatic, because nothing about a relationship is pragmatic.
No.
If you're pragmatic, you wouldn't get married.
Yeah. No, it's true.
It's true.
Yeah. It's true.
What about love as pragmatic?
Love is an emotion.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good feeling. It's a good emotion.
It's a good emotion.
Yeah, it's great. It's
Wow.
magic. Very
So every
special.
now and then you can just take it out of your wallet, use it, put it back. Like
We
taking it-
actually have we have a tremendous amount of love. We
I know.
really do. And
I
it's
know you
built,
do.
it's built over the years.
I know that. That's
Yeah.
why I'm no concern about that part. My concern is about the passion part.
Yeah. That's a part we do need to work on.
No, it's not you work on. You do it or you don't.
Yeah.
It won't happen in this place. Nothing wrong with this place, Nikki. There's nothing wrong at all.
Yeah.
And I know the pragmatic part of you has been rewarded a lot. It's given you a sense of control. Because which needs have been driving you? Let's just look at what the real problem here. I hope you all see it.
Certainty.
And there's no room for aliveness. Certainty is number one. Because passion is found in the realm of uncertainty, and the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty you comfortably live with, but you're not stepping into any of it.
Yeah.
So you understand that pragmatically. So you'll never get it in this physiology. That's the lesson. What do you need to value most for the next stage of life to be alive for you, not just okay or good?
For me, it was love and connections. And
Love and connection has nothing
and
to do with
contribution.
Love and connection has nothing to do with pragmatic, and neither is contribution.
The contribution has always been a big one of mine. I really do want to make a difference. I want to make a difference in the business. I want to make a difference in the lives of the people who